Hot like 100. Hello.
Loading, straight with the lyrics like I'm bowling. Keep pushing on, keep rolling. Didn't wanna listen, but I told him one more time. Your favorite MCs, bronze or silver. These raps here are golden. Cards on the table, there's no folders. Spit bars at the club, zoning. TikTok come to London, get ripped off. Man get pissed off when I start lift off. Sweet like flavors, cookie and biscuit. Round here, yeah, the bars I get ripped off. Picked up my song, yo, every time I tripped up. Little petty tended the big up. Me and my G's do everything mix up. Full circle, that everybody linked up. That's irrelevant, maybe like an elephant. Keep it hard, but you know that it's elegant. Get mad, but always benevolent. Always moving up, just leveling. Constantly telling them rhyming, riddling. Cycle through these streets, I'm pedaling. Hibernating them bombs, she's back again. Oh, cause a little fire on the track again. Turn the music up, vibe like an icon. Yeah, if you want buff, we can go psycho. Head to head, bout to bout, turn the mic on. Turn the music up, vibe like an icon. Yeah, I don't mind, I'll do it for the hell of it, yeah. Elevate bars, I regulate, yeah. UK, wheel up the tune, just meditate. If it didn't get it by now, then it kinda late. Man thinks he's a bad man, but he's kinda bait. Live every day like it's my last celebrate. Mind on the task, we calibrate. Loaded, strike with the lyrics like I'm bowling. Keep pushing on, keep rolling. Didn't wanna listen, but I told him. One more time, your favorite MCs, bronze or silver. Too bad these vibes here are golden. Cards on the table, there's no folding. Spit bars at the club, zoning. That's irrelevant, maybe like an elephant. Keep it hard, but you know that it's elegant. Get mad, but always benevolent. Always moving up, just leveling. Constantly telling them rhyming, riddling. Cycle through these streets, I'm pedaling. Hibernating them bombs, she's back again. Oh, cause a little fire on the track again. Turn the music on, vibe like an icon. Yeah, if you want buff, we can go psycho. Head to head, bar to bar, turn the mic on. Turn the music up, vibe like an icon. Who's the icon? Who's the icon? Icon. Who's the icon? Who's the icon? Icon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday or Saturday, depending on which time zone you are in, podcast. It's just gone past 1 a.m. here in Istanbul, but I think it's still Friday somewhere in the world. So happy Friday, Saturday. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And yes, I am taking a couple of calls today. So link will be posted in the live chat box if you'd like to come up and speak. Thank you to Kathy G for being a member for 19 months. Squad Hat Day Sussex Strong for 19 months. You have listened to me flap my gum. That is extraordinary. Much appreciated. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, well, with us. And what an amazing squad we have. What an amazing community we have built. And I keep saying, I feel like as Harry and Meghan build Archwell, the squad and what we do will extend far beyond just podcasts and Twitter pages and fundraisers. I have so much confidence in our community that we are just going to become more and more innovative and interesting in the way that we do things. I feel like this is really just the beginning, you know. I think there was the original group of Meghan fans who came on board when she started dating Harry and then got married, and the time that they were working royals. And then as the smear campaign grew stronger and more vitriolic, the squad then evolved. And I feel like we're going to evolve into something else as well. I mean, there's a reason they are shook and scared of us, y'all. So thank you to everyone who supports my channel or the other platforms and for showing up and showing out for our faves. Right, on to the podcast. That's live chat, by the way, if you'd like to jump up. First things first, forgot to mention this yesterday, even though I did have it on the slide, but Melba Wilson, who is the owner of Melba's in New York, spoke to a online paper, and she's talked about how she was so honored to have Harry and Meghan at Melba's, and that Harry ate fried chicken with his hands. Well, as we all know, is there any better way to eat fried chicken? That's how it tastes the best. Fried chicken that I'm sure was actually spiced properly. Have you ever seen that video of the butler in Buckingham Palace cooking, and I say cooking with a small c, chicken? He literally grabs that meat out of the packet, sprinkles a little bit of salt on it, has the audacity to call that seasoning, and throws it in the oven. I mean, this is how my man was eating. Can't imagine how wonderful it was for his taste buds to get a load of Meghan's chicken the first time. Because my man was eating spiceless, dry chicken in that palace. Anyway, Wilson said Harry and Meghan's visit to Melba's had a major impact on both the business and the spirit of Harlem. Now, as we remember, not only did Harry and Meghan visit Melba's, they also gave Melba's $250,000 because obviously they had lost a lot of money and were struggling financially because of the Mr. C pandemic. People wanted to eat where Meghan and Harry ate, she added. It was great for the community, but it was also great for people who have dreams. When you start at the bottom, how do you get the Duke and Duchess to come and dine at your restaurant? Those are the things that we read about in storybooks, but they actually do come true. And just showing, as always, that Harry and Meghan choose to align themselves with people where there is a purpose. And not only has Melba's the restaurant done amazing, Melba as a businesswoman, as a personality, she's been getting a lot of airtime. I think she did a segment on ABC on the morning show. So great for her. In other news, Nacho gave Invictus a shout out on his Instagram. He reposted the Invictus trailer. Make sure that you go to the Netflix page on YouTube and watch and comment on the Invictus trailer. It looks phenomenal. And this is really Harry in his element. Invictus is his baby, and it's amazing to see how it has progressed. And also make sure that you go and follow the Invictus page on Instagram. We need to get the followers up. Let me actually get the link now while I'm saying that, because they are doing a really good job with the marketing and promotion. So it's Invictus Games 2023. Go and follow it. If anything, just for the updates, because they're posting lots of updates over there as well. Right, that is the Invictus page. Also, Suit continues to make waves. So many new people discovering Suits. A lot of people are actually just realizing for the first time that, oh, that's Meghan. That's Duchess Meghan who plays Rachel. So it's great to see Suits getting so much airtime to the tune of almost over 1 billion minutes worth of streams. So a lot of people discovering Suits for the first time and getting to get a glimpse of Meghan in her pre-royal life. And I really do hope that we do see some kind of lifestyle or just something that gives us a taste of who Meghan was in her pre-royal life. Because I'm really sad that I never got to experience that. And yeah, I know they're busy with so many things, and bringing back the TIG or anything like that wouldn't be the first priority. But I can't help but wish that we get something like that. Also, in the Rangers who continue to be obsessed and make themselves look like a fool news, Celia Walden. Celia Walden is the very sad wife of Piers Morgan. Now, there is this mysterious Meghan account that nobody knows 100% if it is Meghan, but there's been so many clues and cookie crumbs that we have to assume at this point that it is probably her. And yes, I checked. Caddy from Highbrow Hippie, who is Meghan's friend and hairstylist, is still following this account, by the way. So you would think by now, if she wanted to hide the fact that she was following this account, or if it was a mistake, or if she was getting trolling, she would have unfollowed by now. She is still following that account. Or it could be a red herring. Maybe the actual real Meghan account that's going to come out is completely different. and they're all distracting us with this account. Anyway, Celia has decided to follow this account because apparently she has nothing else to do other than follow the woman who her husband is obsessed with. Or maybe it's actually Piers following this account under Celia's account. Whatever the case, I don't know why you would follow someone who you have done nothing but be nasty about and who your own husband is obsessed with. More obsessed with Meghan than he is with you. Could never be me. And just a petty throwback, by the way, if ever you are feeling low, if ever you are having a bad day, if ever you feel that you can just not put one foot in front of the other and life is too heavy, just remember that Emily Andrews was once up at 2 a.m. British time tweeting about Meghan. Every so often I think about this. Just for laughs. So if you are ever feeling low, my friends, just remember that you can never be as sad as this. You can never be up at 2 a.m. tweeting about a woman who you claim not to like. Could never be me. Right, in other royal news, Willie will not be attending the World Cup final, and neither will Rishi Sunak. And this is for the England women's team, by the way, who have gotten to the World Cup final. They won the Euros. Would be absolutely amazing if they won the final as well. They will be going up against Spain over in Australia, I believe it is. And there has been a lot of complaints about the fact that he's not going, and that if this was the men's game, that he would be straight on a plane to go. Even Piers Morgan is complaining about this, or when Piers Morgan is wagging his finger at you, you know you've done wrong. Even Richard Fitzwilliams, one of the Royal Rotarats, is wagging his finger. Prince William faces backlash for refusing trip to World Cup final. FA President Prince William, who's on his summer break, will not attend the Women's World Cup final. Now, one of the people who is attending is the Queen of Spain? The Queen of Spain and her daughter. I think her daughters and nieces. And so it does look very embarrassing that William would not attend. Now, Tessa Dunlop, she tweeted this. She said, "I real feel sorry for Prince William over the Lioness final. The world is burning. He has staked his identity on the environment, and Australia is a carbon guzzling mission to get to. But he is also president of the FA and Crown Prince of Australia. Rethink might be called for." Yeah. Well, he can fly all the way to Singapore for Earth Flop. He can fly all the way to Boston for Earth Flop and not even bother to bring the winners of the prize, but fly celebrities there as well. So I think that he can fly to Australia to see the women's team and support them. I don't really think there's an excuse here. I personally think he's being lazy. He flew all the way to Dubai to plant a tree. So why can't he fly to Australia to support the women's team? Doesn't make sense to me. But even his own royal derangers are coming for him for this one. And why doesn't William want to attend? Well, you could say that it's because he's lazy. It might also be because of this. This is what happened last time Prince William went to a football game.
And Rebecca Capehorn, chair of the FA Challenge Committee.
Yes, he was booed, and they also started yelling, F the Tories. And then this also happened at a Celtics game. And I don't have the footage, but they were also booed in Boston when they went to a basketball game. And this is how the basketball players reacted.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
I know you guys have played in front of a lot of celebrities, but what was it like to compete in front of royalty tonight? The Prince and Princess of Wales were in the building.
It was just a regular game to me.
Now, having seen all that, I don't necessarily think that William would get booed in Australia. I don't see any reason why he would get booed there, unless there's a real big squaddy fandom down under. Mind you, Rupert Murdoch has that place, by the balls with the Sky News Australia and all of the media there who have been attacking Harry and Meghan. So I don't even think that he would get booed, because of everything that's happened. But I don't know, maybe they just don't want to risk it. And most of all, I just think he's lazy. I just think that they're lazy to support the women's game, and they're lazy because he just can't be bothered to go. Also, it doesn't explain why Rishi Sunak doesn't want to go. Rishi the robot. Okay, let's have a look at your comments. Vera, hello Anne, did you get my emails? Oh, I will check emails today. I do apologize. I will check. Thank you so much for reminding me. And thank you for your donation. Hey Joseph, yes, hello squaddies and brazen hussies. I need to get me a brazen hussy t-shirt if anyone knows where I can get one. No, she said at this point I think Celia has a crush on Meghan too. Honestly, it just doesn't make sense why you would be obsessed over a woman who your husband is obsessed with. So you're gonna start copycating too? Melda, you said, I'm supporting Spain, but England has invested a lot in the women's game. That is absolutely respectable. Yes, and I hope the level of support and the way in which the women's game is becoming more and more popular is proof to all of these executives who have looked down on the women's game for so long that when you invest, people are interested. And it is phenomenal to see how the women's game is going from strength to strength, and that these women athletes finally get their time to shine, because we know that football is a very male centric sport. And it just shows, if you put the marketing in, if you give the game the respect it's meant to get, if you invest, people will show up and support them. So genuinely, well done. I'm not a huge football fan, but well done to the women's England team and just everybody in women's football. Amazing role models. I've seen a couple of people joking around and saying, well, maybe they should fly Harry over. Leave our man out of this. Maggie, you said, I wish there was a way to find those clothes Meghan is wearing in suits. The tops are awesome. I'd love to get a hold of a couple of them. Not so much a pencil skirt, too small for me. I think that who has some really great clothes? I would have said maybe Karen Millen has that kind of suit styles, but they've gone a little bit downhill lately. I think like the Boohoo Group took them over. But I'd say maybe look into Karen Millen. They have that kind of style. Who else? Even Zara. Zara has a lot of good things. And maybe Hugo Boss as well. I think there's a couple of stores that, you can get the suit style. And just check out some of the Meghan fashion blogs, like Meghan's Mirror, Meghan's Closet Chronicles. They do a lot of IDing of clothes and also dupes as well. Yeah, he doesn't want to get booed again. Like, so what is the reason he can't go? Well, the excuse they're giving is that apparently he's still on holiday. That's the excuse they're giving. All right. There was one more thing I wanted to get through before we take calls. Oh yes, Dan Whatnot. Shout out to Byline Investigates that continue to do an amazing job. So Hardeep Matharu, who's one of the lead editors, she did a small update talking about the media scandal the media didn't want to touch. By Bylines will keep exposing the dark forces in the shadows. And please do continue to support Byline, both reading and donate to them if you can. I don't know where their fundraising is at the moment, but the last time I checked, I think they'd gone over the amount they wanted to raise. I think they wanted to raise something like 75,000, and they raised the money. So thank you to everyone who donated, because I know that a lot of those donations were squaddies. So part of the article said, as Byline's co-founder and executive editor, Peter Jukes observes in this month's print edition, there is a key problem with the senior executives of other news organizations when it comes to covering the Wooten stories. They are either historically complicit, scared of what information the former Sun and Mail Online columnist might still hold on them, or worried about their future working relationships with Wooten and his current employers, DB News. And so we have the silence of the lambs. But legal threats are just some of the obstacles we have faced. In the days after publishing our first article, an email hack attack was made on one of our reporters, while the other had what appeared to be blood smeared on his car window. Menacing calls and emails followed, now being pursued by police. These physical threats started after Wooten used his nightly GB news show, on which he continues to enjoy a platform, to denounce Byline Times' work as dark forces trying to bring the channel down live on air, a monologue the newspaper has submitted a formal complaint about to broadcaster regulator Ofcom. But Wooten was right that dark forces are at play. For these are the base instincts outlets such as GB News, The Mail, and The Sun, and journalists like himself regularly feed the endless headlines and sound bites, declaring the latest enemy, other seek to exploit the shadows that lie within us all. The worst instincts we're all capable of succumbing to. Wooten's story, then, is both personal and political. Psychologically, it evokes issues of identity and self knowledge, of the way we all have different characteristics and personas, and how they can clash and split apart in sometimes dangerous ways if they do not speak to each other and integrate. But the personal soon becomes political in a media system that preys on our psychological weaknesses and obsessions, which seeks to confuse and compel rather than clarify and resolve. As Rupert Murdoch once said, any newspaper that seeks to do that can be a great power for evil. Attacking Byline Times as dark forces may have opened us up to threats, but it also threw light on a much bigger shadow we must all grapple with. This newspaper will continue to help our readers to do so. Our special media 2 investigation is ongoing, and they thank all of the subscribers and readers for their support. Brilliantly said, and this is exactly why Harry has made it, as he has said, his life's work to tackle this media and all of its issues, of which there are many. Right, with that, we will go to live calls. Thank you everyone for waiting. Mina, would you like to go first?
Hey, Ann.
Hey Mina, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
No problem. Well, I ain't too surprised. I hope little man William gets what's coming to him, because this is just too much. And I hope the Cope people come out and tell their story, and if not, then I understand. But seems like everybody's getting their karma one by one, and I'm here for it. That's really all I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much, Mina. Thank you as always. Valerie.
Good evening.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to just turn off your echo, hon? If you've got me on in the background.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. Good
Oh
evening,
no,
everybody.
sorry, I'm still echoing. Just turn off. Okay, we'll come back to you, Valerie. I'll go to YM Droid.
Hello, how are you?
I am great, thank you.
Happy Friday to you and to everyone here. Yeah, so you know what? I have a theory about why they are all so happy to team up on Meghan. I truly think that Rupert Murdoch, he identifies people who he thinks have a good chance of being likely political enemies. In the US here, even before she ran for president, the Republicans and GOP here started laying the groundwork to really go after Hillary Clinton. So when you see those stupid polls that are like, oh, would you vote for Meghan for president? They're telegraphing exactly what they're thinking. Their worst fear is that she might make it into some position of power where she could hold them accountable, or that they would get into that she would get into some level of that. I want to say like even beyond what she's married into, and could really put the screws to them, not necessarily in a vindictive way, but just in a just way, to expose some of the things that they've been doing. And I truly think that that's just at the heart of everything that they fear about her. So they're scared, not necessarily even of what she has accomplished now, but I truly think that they're afraid of what she might accomplish in the future, like terrified. And that makes me happy.
Yeah, and I that is an excellent point that you've made, YM Droid. But first of all, I think that Meghan and Harry can have so much, and in many ways, even more impact just as humanitarians, Meghan never has to formally become a politician. And being that she is somebody who is married into the British royal family, I personally just don't see it. I don't want to speak for her, but her being a politician, her being or running for president of the United States, I just think that would create a lot of political conflicts. And I don't know. Me personally, I just don't see it.
You know what? Listen, I agree with you 100%. So, and this is, I'm not making a comparison here because obviously it's a lovely apple and a disfigured, rotten, rancid orange. But when Trump started to get into things, a lot of people would say, you know, if I were that rich, and he's, well, even long before now, there's questions about if he was, but they said if I were that rich, I would just enjoy the money. And I think even his ex-wife, who died under mysterious circumstances, turned down, I think, an ambassadorship because she said, I just want to be a rich woman. And I'm not saying that to say that Meghan has any of the same proclivities or tendencies of a Trump, but I think that she certainly would be more than happy to be a philanthropist. I want to say moving privately largely, free to do like the projects that she likes, free to explore some of those things without having to be bound by rules of office and without having to really get into that. So I don't think it's anything that she would ever seriously consider. But these old, dusty, demonic men who basically just send their harpies after her on a regular basis and print out all these stupid things, take all these dumb polls. Oh, in a poll of people named William, we asked who's the sexiest William. And by the way, it's only Williams who live at Kensington Palace. Guess what? Prince William's the sexiest man named William, according to our poll of 2 people named William. And let us find out one of the footmen is named William. So I truly think that's why they continue to really just, you know, not let go of her, because it really is, you know, if you look at it objectively, even if you don't like Meghan for whatever reason, if you looked at it objectively, the level that they go to just makes no sense. Here you have a woman who they said, we want you to go away. So she moved. She's like, okay, bye. They said, we don't want to, you know, we don't want you asking for attention, quote unquote. And you don't see, you see very, very few pictures of her where she's actually posing for the press or actually seeking it out. So everything that they've said they want her to do, she's done. And yet they still continue to attack. And like I said, I really think it's because they are terrified that a smart, beautiful woman who actually has, you know, has some integrity will eventually get into a position of power where she can do something about these wretched, nasty old people who don't have any. Last thing, and this is unrelated. Did you catch Kate at her AARP meeting that was supposed to be the festival?
Yes, I did. And I actually realized that I missed something about that whole saga. That was apparently at was it Rose Hanbury's estate?
Yeah, so
Is
that's
that correct?
Yeah, so that was the big controversy, or that was the big to do. Like, oh, now Kate and Rose are hanging out, and if anything, that gives me shades of Camilla, quote unquote, befriending Diana. So Kate, you still in danger, girl. She needs to needs to watch it around those people. But when they put out that photo and said it was from a festival, I could not stop cackling. Look at that. Doesn't that look like somebody said free applesauce to the local retirement village and a couple of people moseyed on out before their bedtime and they're like, oh, free applesauce? I'll have some of that. The only thing missing from this picture is a bingo caller and maybe somebody with a shuffleboard set. This is I've never been to any festival, even in the VIP area, where it was this. I mean, shout out to the elders and all, but I mean, come on. If this is what you saw when you turned up to a quote unquote festival, would
And it
you
was
think you would
apparently a
have liked
20
this?
it was apparently a 24-hour festival, and yeah.
Nah, these people aren't staying up 24 hours. They have I guarantee you these people have a 9:30 p.m. bedtime. They wake up at like 5:30 in the morning to stretch, walk the mall, um, have a Werther's original, put some candies in their wives' purses, steal a candy from their wives' purses. This is no. This is not a crowd that's staying up for 24 hours. Kate included.
Do you know what? You say that, but do not count out the elders. I was at an EDM rave once, and there were elders in that rave, okay?
I guess, but I don't know. I mean, somebody in that dancery is going to need some Bengay, is going to need a warm compress and a little bit of if I turned up to something and it was all people who look like somebody's pop, uh, mm-mm. I mean, like, come on, Ann. Do you think these people can even drop it like it's lukewarm?
Hey, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised now.
Okay,
You know
let
what?
me.
Do you know what?
So
Do you know
people
what's
stay
so
in
funny
shape.
about this whole thing, though? I feel like it is just so out of character for Kate. That is why everybody's just kind of got their eyebrows raised, and the timing of it as well.
That yeah, I mean for sure. I guess it was proof that she actually did go someplace. Which is weird because you would think that if there were just random proof of her doing something, it would be her faking like she cares about one of the causes that she's supposed to be supporting. I mean, it would be more impressive if they showed her, I don't know, like sneaking out the house to force some of those weird pancakes she makes onto homeless people to help Will in his quest to solve homelessness for $500. That would at least tie in a little bit to, oh, look at Kate doing nice things when we don't even know about it. This is just again. I mean, is she there with somebody's evening tea? What is she holding there? I honestly I hope it's a cocktail because like I said I strongly suspect it's applesauce and maybe a little whiskey slipped in there or something because this really just looks like entertainment night at the retirement community. But
Well,
that
applesauce and whiskey sounds like an interesting mix, and I might try that. But thank you so much, YM.
no problem. You have a good week. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you. All right, Valerie, we will try you again.
Hello.
Oh, okay, we still get echo. We'll go to Rahini then, and then we'll go back to Valerie. Rahini.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rahini.
I'm at work.
We're back at work today. Great.
I'm at work. Oh my gosh. Um, I am very excited about Heart of Invictus,
Yes.
and I am watching. Here's the thing. I wonder, is there like a Zoom meeting that happens whenever anything about the Sussexes come out and the Rangers get together? Okay, how are we going to bash it? Because the new derangement, I think that's it, derangers are derangement. The new
Yes.
derangement is like, oh my gosh, Megan is not in the trailer. Like,
Is she meant to be?
I don't even know, like,
Is she
she's
meant
not
to
in
be
the
in the trailer?
trailer. Apparently. Apparently, she's not in
Well,
the
it's good to
trailer.
know that they watched it. It's good to know that they watched it.
It's so ridiculous. So I wonder if, like, is it like they just meet up and say, okay, Megan wore a skirt. How do we degrade the skirt? It's so funny. It's so funny. It's really sad, but I'm very disappointed in William because Here's the thing. When he goes to Singapore, this is his personal pet project.
Mhm.
And he's willing to justify the flights and the money and
Yeah.
the cost. But going to the World Cup the final is representing England. That is literally his
Yeah.
job. So you are telling
Yes.
us he does not wish to do his job. He is saying no
Yes.
to his job because I am on vacation, and nobody recognizes that. And it's getting harder and harder for them to justify their being so out of touch with the realities that is out there. People in England are starving, and you are on your what, your fifth vacation for the year. How many
Mhm.
vacations have they had for the year? And you trying
Yeah.
to tell me you can't travel for one day?
Game.
1 day. Just to literally do your job and represent the nation. 1 day.
So Rohini, do keep talking. I have to refresh my page because it's glitching. But carry on. I'm just gonna go on mute for like 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really, really sad to encounter, and I'm trying to understand what is this logic behind it. It is so ridiculous. And as for Kate, oh my God, these people are ridiculous. Because that picture of her at the church bingo is obviously meant to compete with the alleged story that Meghan went to Taylor Swift. We have no we have no official report, we have no pictures, but think about it. Think about how triggered they are that they have to counter an alleged story probably made up by the Rangers. Meghan is the queen. Like at this point, she's the queen. Oh my goodness. Like they just need to make her the Queen of England because right now she's a queen. Am I wrong? It's ridiculous. You are responding to an alleged story. Wow. How dumb are you? How sad. Oh well. You come back? Oh my goodness. You left me alone, Anne. What am I supposed to talk about? What am I supposed to do for the next 10 minutes? Should I read your comments? Um, right. Mad Will
Hey,
says, okay,
I'm back.
because I was trying to figure out what to do.
Honestly,
I was about to read the comments.
I
I
would
was about to
trust
read
you,
the
you
Oh
and
my
Lightside
gosh.
with the whole podcast. Honestly.
Oh my goodness. It's so you see how it works. I can't misbehave. I can't misbehave at work. I can't misbehave at work. But it's ridiculous that you are responding to an alleged story. We don't even know she was there. It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. How are these people so stupid? And as for William, I'm disgusted. He needed to go. I'm sorry. You needed to go. It's 1 day. And you know what? This is something you bring the kids to. You bring the kids
Yeah.
to this, especially your daughter. You bring her to show her, oh look, this is what women can do. We're standing up for all the girls. It's the incompetence. But who knows? He's probably just half naked on a yacht somewhere with somebody wife. I
You
understand
know,
that
I
I
I I,
understand
I
that
was
the old man that we were seeing in the picture with Kate is David Rock Savage. That's what they were saying.
yeah, the guy in the green might have been Rock Savage. So it could also just be to counter rumors. I mean, it's the whole thing was just like really strange.
It is literally same script, different cast. What happened with Diana? Didn't they have like a photo up or something? Because I
Yeah.
think this person behind her is Rose
The
in the
person
second
behind
picture.
her?
Yes, in the second picture, the woman. I think that's Rose.
Do you know what? Now that you've said that, like I never even noticed that. That's quite interesting. No, I
I
don't
think
know.
it looks like her. Same kind of forehead. And what is she wearing on her feet? Is that sneakers? Oh, no, she's wearing Crocs. Kate is wearing Crocs. Somebody. Let sales of Crocs go through the roof now.
Do you know what? Regardless of who's in this picture
Oh my
or why
god.
this picture was taken, it's just very strange to me that they are so preoccupied with these petty things instead of focusing
Exactly.
on what matters, instead of focusing on, whatever Kate's going on with her, charity stuff and being of service to the public. Instead of focusing on that, they're focusing on silly photo ops and stuff like this. And one just has to ask, what are we paying for as a British public other than these people to be petty
We're paying
with
for
each
her
other?
to take selfies. We're paying for her to take selfies. We're paying for the illusion, but the illusion is stupid. The illusion is not even pretty anymore. It's a tarnish paintings. And I wanted to respond a bit to I think it's YM Joy they had before when she
Mhm.
talked about the fear that Murdoch have. I wanted to also add that the fear that they have is also the squad because we are
Yeah.
basically a super PAC at this point. We are a political action party. Think about if we did that because think about what happened with the the last election for I think it was independence in Scotland and the Queen said one thing: think carefully. That's a very political statement when she wasn't supposed to say anything, but she did, and that was enough. So think about Meghan throwing her weight or just even being pictured with a candidate.
Mm.
That's a powerful thing. And then the squad is like, hey, you know what? Maybe we do. We're a pack, we're a political action committee. They're scared of us. They're
Mm.
terrified that we could end up like that. And it's a global movement, so they're scared. They're very scared. But oh, and you know,
I
I want to
do
ask
also,
you, how do
so
I
go on.
like send you something? Because I
You can
crocheted you
send
something.
me. You crocheted me something.
Yes, a very sexy bathing suit
Oh my god, that
to
is
help you
so
pick up some cute
sweet.
boys. To help you pick
Oh,
up, you know. I don't know where to mail it because you're always traveling. So,
oh, that is the sweetest. I do actually think I still have your email.
mhm.
But I will put my email in the chat again just in case. And
Well, okay, but I will
you can
email
send it
you.
to my yeah, you can send it to we'll have you send it to someone in London so that when I go home I can pick it up. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of
Okay.
you.
All right.
I didn't know you
Have fun,
crocheted.
guys. I do. I
Thank
love to
you.
crochet. It's my happy place.
Oh, thank you, Rahini. Ciao.
Bye, guys.
All right. All right, we'll do Mary and then we'll end with Lightside. Hey Mary.
Hey, Anna.
Hey.
I read something today. AL said, I'm not even going to call her name. AL said that Meghan is acting childish and stuff like that. She was referring to um, Harry going to Singapore and Japan and Meghan coming out, going out and stuff like that at the same time. And I was like, that is not childish. She's just going on with her day. And you're always
Yeah.
asking, where is Megan? Where is Megan? Where is Megan? Um, and anytime she shows up, they're always saying that is a planned photo op and stuff like that. I'm like, that isn't a planned photo op. And three of the photographers have actually come out and saying that it's very hard to get her, and it's
Yeah.
not a planned photo op, that they just see her and take the picture. So I guess some of them are just some of the derangers are just making it up as they go along. And the whole thing about Kate Pat going for a rave and stuff like that. Um, I think is a fest. That thing was a festival because the archival version. I've forgotten of the thing of the paper
Mhm.
showed people actually raving at the site. So the whole thing was a festival, and I think she's drinking kombucha.
Mhm. Well, I think with the Meghan and the whole paparazzi thing, they've been wanting to create this narrative for a while that Meghan was the paparazzi, and I think it's just a continuation of them always trying to paint her as an attention seeker, and to be honest, I mean for me, I'm very just careful not to give that too much attention anymore unless there's like something like very important to um kind of talk about. But yeah, just I would just say like protect your energy around stuff like that. But thank you so much as always for calling in. All right, thank you, Mary. All right, light side. We'll end with you. Hello.
Oh, I see Valerie wasn't able to make it back in.
Yeah, Valerie, you know what? My comments aren't coming up on my page for some reason. So,
Okay.
Valerie, are you gonna come back up, Valerie?
I think she was
Should I
trying
post the
to.
link again? Okay, let me post the link again. This is just for Valerie. I'm not taking any more callers. Okay, so this is just for Valerie. All right, go ahead, Lightside.
I'm so glad it's Friday. It's been a rough week. I
Yeah.
was like, I wasn't even sure. I thought maybe you were gonna have the chat earlier, or comments
Mm.
earlier. Let me just say this. YM Droid had me cracking up earlier. I was so glad I was over here on mute because I was cackling like a crazy person. And then, of course, Rohini, when she comes on, is always like a hoot. I was sitting there, I was like, man, I hope one of these days we have a little roundtable live chat where we all could just banter and go back and forth because that would
Mm.
just be
Hello.
amazing. But okay, so man, where am I gonna start? So first, a little PSA announcement. I don't know if anyone is on the Bird app, now known as X. Black
The
Twitter
bird
now
app.
calls it
So we will.
Malcolm.
Ah, love it.
Known as Malcolm to us highly melanated folks. um,
Elon didn't see it coming. He didn't think this
nah, he
through.
didn't. He didn't walk right into it. Like perfect storm. But what was I gonna say? So I heard recently that he is now removing the block button, which, as you know, a lot of us squatties have blocked
Oh,
quite a few derangers and just these
that is
persistent
insane.
trolls. Yeah, so I don't know what it's gonna look like. I have a theory to why he's doing that. Um, as you know, a lot of companies moved away from Twitter when it started getting really political and some other things kind of came into play. And the ad revenue is what actually drives the app. A lot of you guys have noticed there's been a lot of like really like crazy like stupid ads that have popped up on the Bird app. I block them every single time. I mute them, block. And I think it is affecting his revenue. So
Mm,
I think that's the real reason why he's doing it because
yeah.
you block the ads, you can't have that money flow coming in. Anyway, enough about that. Enough about that. So
No,
it's
but
funny.
can I just
Mhm.
say that is
Go
that
ahead.
is actually a very good point you've brought up because it also I think is a sign that that the platform is struggling and the way in which
Mhm.
um Twitter profits so much off of hate. So the fact that
Yes.
they would have to take such a move,
Mhm.
well, I think it speaks volumes. But go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep an eye out for that. Because boy, I blocked quite a few. Anyway, So what was I gonna say? So something that YM said, I want to make a quick comment on that in regards to Megan, and then something that Rohini said. So I thought about something. I think you and I were chatting way back. There's so many different conversations offline, but we were chatting, and I said something to you at one point about them trying to tie Megan into this political sphere, right? And I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking so much that Megan would potentially run for a high office one day. Anything's possible, but that was not something I was thinking of. What I was more
Yeah.
thinking of was we all know how very volatile it has gotten with politics of late. You see it in religion, you see it with the right and left here in the United States. You have the conservative and the Democratic Party, which is more liberal or moderate liberal. And it's a very contentious argument. We can't seem to kind of find a middle ground when it comes to making decisions, big decisions on the country. So it's very contentious. What they do on the conservative or right wing, maybe far right wing side, is to demonize a person, um, and kind of create this image of them. You call someone liberal, you call someone woke, or whatever else to kind of paint them as more of a Democrat, and you have masses of the same kind of toxic kind of environment that we see on Twitter come into play, and they're vicious. So there's a reason and there's a plan for putting Megan next to this or into this environment that's called politics, because then you get all the people who
Yes.
feel very strongly about how their parties are running the country coming up, and who never normally would care about the royals or Meghan Markle or Prince Harry, all of a sudden have a say and a piece in what they think
Mm.
should happen, even if it has no base whatsoever. So it's not always about something that makes sense. It's about getting people riled up and fired up enough to get them
Yes, that
angry
is
to
true.
attack a person. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true,
So
and I think that's definitely part of the agenda as well. If they can position her as someone who is thinking about being political, then it's just gonna be so
exactly.
easy to get people to attack her, because then people can hide their feelings behind, well, if she's in the political arena now, well, she's fair game.
Exactly. I mean, look what they did to her, in saying that she was the one that was bullying, who for so long.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
UK public and the UK media really push an argument like she's the one that completely has shattered the whole structure of the monarch and royalty and have stolen their prized golden child. Because we all know Harry is the golden child, but um,
Yeah.
they paint her as this villain that has come in and uprooted this perfect structure that was there, and people have bought into
Mhm.
it. So it's very
Yeah.
possible that this can happen as well. Um,
Yeah.
but in regards to Rohini and Kate, I don't like talking about this one, but first of all, I saw someone on Twitter post something and I cannot unsee it. They posted a picture of Kate in her bingo atmosphere with her buddies, and a picture of Camilla Tominey.
Dominate. Yeah, I saw
And
this.
I was like, whoa. I was like, oh my gosh, uncanny resemblance. I was just like,
So they both dislike Meghan so much now they're actually like morphing into each other. I think
they're
that's what's
morphing
happening.
into each other. Yeah. So I
But
was,
Camilla Tominey has been quite quiet for a
has
while.
she? Mm,
I feel like she, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not paying attention to her anymore. But I feel like it's,
yeah.
it's been a while, or
Since
maybe
you've
it's just
been
because she
joining.
hasn't been roasted for a while.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe their little buddy wouldn't, because he's gotten into trouble. People are now hiding a little bit, not trying to kind of step up
Yeah.
in that limelight. But yeah. But when Rahini said that that was Rose, see, I couldn't see very well. I didn't even zoom into that image when I saw it on social media. But when she
But now
said
I
that was,
can't unsee it.
yes, that's Rose's forehead. That is definitely a forehead that belongs to Rose. So I don't know if we're ever gonna see another angle from that photo, but that looks like Rose. That looks like it very well could be Rose. Um, and it's interesting with the rumors that have gone around. And maybe there's some, we're speculating here, but if there was something that was happening in the past and maybe is still going on, it's weird to see these two women in the same space.
Did you ever see the famous church walk? So this was just after the rumors started circulating about Rose and William and Kate, and they went for it was like a morning walk in the forest or something.
Mhm.
And Kate was so it was Kate, other members of the royal family, and Rose was also there, just like walking behind.
Mhm.
So it was just very strange that just after these rumors started, all of a sudden they're going on this morning walk,
Yeah.
and the photographers just happened to be there to get those photos.
Mhm.
It was very strange.
It is. It is. I guess maybe one of these days we'll really find out what is going on, but it's just the whole thing is just weird. And I think the other thing that I think is really, I mean, is it strange to us anymore? No, I'll just be honest about that. But when they pull articles and post them about Meghan in regards to something she did back in 2018 or something she wore back in 2018, it really just shows the level of thirst that they have from lack of information, lack of access, and having absolutely
Yeah.
nothing else to talk about. Because and we kind of touched on this a little bit. I don't click on the articles, but I see the screenshots that
Yeah, the
the squaddies
screenshots,
will.
yeah.
Yeah, and I literally said to myself, I was like, what date is on this article? Oh, August 15th, 2023. This is recent. And you're talking about something that Meghan wore in 2018.
Yeah, I
Where
mean, there
are
was
you?
this, God, I didn't even want to bring this up because now that you've actually said it, this kind of clickbaity nonsense that I think the
Mhm.
squad has to just be more mindful of. Richard Eden writing about Meghan being criticized for wearing lab-grown diamonds, as if
Mm.
every jewel in the royal collection wasn't like stolen from somewhere. And I think it just shows just how desperate they are to get any and every story about Meghan in particular. I mean, I don't know if you'll know this, but the Daily Fail in the last couple of months actually started a whole section. They revamped their royal news cycle, so they have a whole section now on the Daily Fail website which is just royals, but that has its own tab which is just Meghan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not backing off. It seems like they're almost doubling down on the obsession that they have with her. And, like we said, they're not going to stop because it brings in too much revenue. Like the level of attention that both her and Harry get, you know, and shockingly, like, someone said this. I think a lot of us have thought about this too, is why would you even care to know what someone is doing if you don't like them? What do you get out of it? And I really would love a psychologist to break this down and explain it to me, because if I don't like something or if I don't like a person, I'm not going to go around them. I'm not going to partake in the thing that I don't want to do. No one is forcing them to literally stalk this woman or figure out every single thing that she's doing, but that is literally what they do, and it's crazy to me. If it causes you so much misery that you're upset in seeing someone flourish like that or go about their business on a daily basis, like, why even
Yeah.
bother paying attention to it?
Yeah, that is very true. All right, I'm gonna let Valerie chime in. You can stay there for a sec, light side.
No problem.
Good evening.
Go ahead, Valerie.
Yeah,
Hi,
good
Valerie.
evening. Can you hear me? Good
I
evening.
can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me?
It's just that I can hear myself also.
Okay, yes. Good evening, everybody. Sorry about it. I had a lot of things on, so I was looking at things at the same time. That's what, of course, I had to take it off. I think it's much more sinister than that. What is happening is that everybody's waking up, and there's because you're now losing a level of control. They're going to get there. Everybody's getting very rich, vicious. Murdoch is, I think he's been sued over 200 times, or 200 people are suing him.
Is this from the phone hacking scandal?
They found a whole set of people. Apparently, he's been sued all over the world. He's been sued. The Barclay brothers, one of them, they have now gone into receivership. It's a whole set of GB News is in problems. There's a lot of there's a lot of people are in problems. Dan Wootton. And the fact remains, and also, did you hear with the GB News with the CEO? He's also been in problems as well with the abuse, racial and sexual abuse.
Yeah.
And Nana is not speaking to him, Danny, anymore. She took off her, when she said she's supporting Danny. Well, apparently she took it off her Instagram.
Okay, wow. Sorry, but because I can still hear myself in the background, so I don't know if you've got a browser open with the podcast, because I can still hear myself echoing. So I won't say anything else. But if you could just, if you're not able to fix that, just you can keep talking, but I can't speak if there's going to be my echo in the background. Go on.
There's no browser. I have no browser open.
Oh, okay, that's great.
I have I don't have no browser. I've taken off everything. There's no browser open. I've just got what I'm speaking open.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I was saying that it's much more sinister than that now. And I think what the problem is, they're not getting any news on Meghan. They can't, and people now are turning against them because people are saying they're getting fed up of this constant thing on Meghan. And then what people are saying, that we've got a lot of problems over here and they're focusing on Meghan.
Yeah. Why?
So that's it. I mean, also the barge with the asylum seekers and all that.
Yeah.
And it's this hatred. And then I think GB News, I think another thing to what happened with GB News is that they I think some coffee said they're not going to support them anymore. So they're losing money.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just saying, do you know what? I've had enough. Thank you so much, Valerie.
Thank you very much.
No worries. And actually, just off the before we end the view light, so just off the back of what Valerie said, there's actually a video of of people getting fed up. There's actually a video that I forgot to play. So let's just have a look at this.
Prince Charles sat on the live TV and dished about Diana and about his marriage, and all you do is bash Harry, and I don't see why people bash Harry all the time.
Harry cashed in
really
on it.
not fair.
He cashed in on it in a massive way.
He's earning a living because they wouldn't let him do exactly what Beatrice and Eugenie do. Thank you. I mean, Nina's totally right. I mean, Beatrice and Eugenie, it was on a documentary at the weekend. They are allowed to work, but they attend royal events, which is what Harry and Meghan wanted to do, and they were told no, because like Nina said, they were too popular. Charles didn't like the fact that Diana was more popular than him. It runs in the family, and William's exactly the same.
Oh my god.
Oh, I died. The ending gets me every single time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey, were they wrong? Nope. She wasn't wrong at all.
There was no lie detected.
No lie detected. No lie detected. Exactly like she said. Everything is it's like a repeat of history. William is Charles. Kate is not Diana, but she is kind of in a position that is unfortunate, I feel. And there might be a mistress in the picture, another Camilla. So who knows what we could see down the road in regards to this. So she and Harry he's just Harry, like loved, with purpose, and he has a partner, amazing partner in crime in Meghan Markle. So they're doing their thing, and I cannot wait to see the projects that they have coming up. Heart of Invictus is around the corner. I think a lot of us are going to be supporting it. I have a small wish. I hope to see the kids there. Like, I don't know if they're going to show them. They might not. They might not. I'm just speaking wishfully, but it would be really sweet if they kind of brought them out for opening night just to kind of say hi to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be sweet. But we know that they're very protective of their children.
Yeah.
And I do really love that they are choosing to also pick up some commercial products as well, like with the rom-com, because I think it just shows
Oh, yeah.
that they can, become Hollywood powerhouses and actually respected in media if they can get a hit from this. And it looks like it's a very popular book, and there's a good chance that it could be a hit. The rom-com genre is very popular, and when it does well, it does really well. Like, Girl on a Train, Confessions of a Shopaholic. I think it's a really good genre, and if it does well, and they're able to get some big commercial hits, I think they'll have more money to play with to also do the philanthropic, humanitarian focused stuff. But I think it's good that they're doing a mixture of both.
I agree. I mean, the sky's the limit for them, and does anyone doubt that anything that they do will not be successful? No, we already know it's going to be a hit. I know that. So I think that they incite so much curiosity. And as we all know, those derangers and trolls are going to be lined up to see that movie. So
yeah, they will buy the tickets
fact.
before we do.
Yep. If it's even to find one tiny fault in it, they're gonna watch it. So look, they're gonna be cashing in either way. But I'm sure it's gonna be well done, because I don't think from all the stuff I've seen them put out, I've not seen a production that has been subpar.
Yeah.
The documentary that they've done has been very unique. Their personal story that they told in their documentary had a unique style of cinematography. I don't know if you guys realize that, like watching it, just the layers that were there, I appreciated that. So I think it's going to be some high quality stuff that we see with this.
All right, thank you so much, Lightside, and
Thank
everyone who
you.
called in as usual. YM Droid, for some reason, I cannot get your comment on the screen, but I can see it on my phone. And yes, I do agree. I think Nana's wig has also pulled support from Dan Wooten. And Nana, judging by how it's always trying to escape her, yes. The wig is trying to escape both Nana and Dan Wooten. Thank you so much, YM Droid. Thank you for making us laugh, as always. All right, with that, I'm going to call it a day. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Thank you, as always, for your support. And yes, I literally just opened my email today, and I can see all of your emails, so I will respond to those over the weekend. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's dance our way out and enjoy Barons. Ciao.
Hot like 100. Hello.
Loading, strike with the lyrics like I'm bowling. Keep pushing on, keep rolling. And when I listen, but I told him one more time. Your favorite MCs, bronze or silver. These raps here are golden. Cards on the table, there's no folders. Spit bars at the club, zoning. TikTok comes along, I get ripped off. Man get pissed off when I start lift off. Sweet like flavors, cookie and biscuit. Planty, yeah, the bars I get ripped off. Picked up my song, yo, every time I tripped up. Little petty kid, the big rock. Me and my G's do everything mix up. Full circle, that everybody linked up. That's irrelevant, maybe like an elephant. Keep it hard, but you know that it's elegant. Get mad, but always benevolent. Always moving up, just leveling. Constantly telling them rhyming, bridging. Cycle through these streets, I'm pedaling. Hibernating them bombs, she's back again. Oh, cause a little fire on the track again. Turn the music up, vibe like an icon. Yeah, if you want buff, we can go psycho. Head to head, bar to bar, turn a mic on. Turn the music up, vibe like an icon. elevate, yeah. Elevate bars, I regulate, yeah. UK, we love the tune, just meditate. If we didn't get it by 9, then they kinda late. Man thinks he's a bad man, but he's kinda bait. Live every day like it's my last, celebrate. Mind on the task, we calibrate. Loaded, strapped to the lyrics like I'm bowling. Keep pushing on, keep rolling. Didn't wanna listen, but I told him. One more time, your favorite MCs, bonds or silver. Too bad these vibes here are golden. Cards on the table, there's no folding. Spit more than I can't zone it. That's irrelevant, make me like an elephant. Keep it hard, but you know that it's elegant. Get mad, but always benevolent. Always moving, not just leveling. Constantly telling them rhyming, breathing. Cycle through these sheets, I'm pedaling. Hibernating them boom, she's back again. Oh, cause the little fire in the track again. Turn the music on, vibe like an icon. Yeah, if you pump up, we can go psycho. Head to head, bar to bar, and I'm icon. Turn the music up, vibe like an icon. Who's the icon? Who's the icon? Icon. Who's the icon? Who's the icon? Icon.
Icon.